In this video, we're going to discuss the turbulence effect found within our built-ins, the CP folder, and the Real FX folder on the left-hand side. And to get these to work, what we actually need to do is drop this on a global primitive, and the global primitive we need to use is the RFX Smoke. So I'm going to drag this down into the scene tree. Now, if you're not familiar with the RFX Smoke, you can watch the other tutorial on Twitch GFX that will show you exactly how to use this. But since we have this RFX Smoke down in the scene tree, what we actually need to do is place an image on it. So I'm going to go into my server here, into my images. I have a couple of flare images. These flare images actually carry an alpha channel, so I'm going to use an image that carries an alpha channel. So here's a little red flare. I'm just going to drag this down onto it. When we do that, it doesn't look like much. So we do have to come back into the mapping and change the mapping to vertex. And once I do that, it maps this image onto each individual particle of the RFX Smoke. Now we're going to go back into the built-ins, into the CP tab, into the Real FX folder, and we're going to take this turbulence and drag it onto our container down here. Now once we take that turbulence and drag it onto the container, you can see how it affects this RFX Smoke primitive. So if we go into the turbulence editor, we've got a couple of things here. By default, the amount is set to 200. So if we take this all the way up to a higher number, let's say 500, you can see how that affects the whole amount of the turbulence of it. It's kind of scattering these particles all over. Now, if we take this down to a lower number, like 10, you can kind of see how it affects this RFX Smoke in that it's no longer scattering the particles so much. It's more keeping them in place here. So let's scale this up a little bit so that we'll be able to see a little bit better. We'll go back into the turbulence. I'm just going to reset the amount here. By hitting the little R key, it takes it back to 200, and again, you can kind of see how it affects our primitive. There's also an inertia setting, so we could increase this up to like 500, and this is going to increase the inertia then of this particular smoke effect. You can also go the other way, so if we bring it down a little bit, you can see how, again, completely readjusts the RFX Smoke and adds a little less turbulence this time. If we reset that, it takes it back to 100. There's also a wavelength that we can increase. So let's take this up to the 500, and you can see how it affects this. And if we rotate this a little bit, you can kind of see what it does to our RFX Smoke. Now we go back into the turbulence, we'll reset that, and there's also an update rate. It's set to 100 by default, but if we increase the update rate, it's going to spit out a couple more particles and refresh at a different rate than our default setting. Now a lot of these settings also will depend on what's on the RFX Smoke settings itself. So if you're going for a particular look or a particular setting on here, you have to take into account not only the RFX Smoke settings that you have in here, but also the turbulence settings.